Member West, end of the road?
End of the road?
On the question of Vice President / Majority Leader?
No, it's not at the end of the road. Of course, as you know, we're still waiting for Joe Martuccio's opinion, his legal opinion. And as I stated today, it came down to using the Ohio Revised Code 731.17b that addresses the issue of the majority, and it talks about the majority of the members present. I believe that if we do not go by the process, this thing about me winning the majority leader, because once the argument's said and done, I still got to get 7 people, and Frank would have to get 7 people. It's about the process. It's about the integrity of the process. So that's where I'm at today, using that, and based on them saying I couldn't appeal, I used the Ohio Revised Code that clearly indicates that you can, as long as the violation continues week after week. And I'll give you a copy of that if you so choose.
So Member Morris took you up, I think, if I understood it correctly, on your plea for council to meet and decide.
Yes. You know, my intention is not to bog down council. It's to let's sit down at a different meeting time, have a special meeting, and let the 12 members, and I say 12 members, speak to this issue and address the issue and come up with somebody that has 7. It may be Morris. You know, it could be me. It could be one of the other members. But I think that it's so important for us to pick somebody with the number 7 and move forward. So that's where I stand. And I'll meet with Morris and we'll come together and try to make that happen. And again, it's not on city business. I mean, it's not, interrupting city business. It's after that. So that way we can get this process moving forward.
Open to the public?
Open to the public, yes, definitely. Why not? I would like to see that happen.
Are you taking the support you have?
I think we've got to take it step by step, but I believe that we'll be able to come together at these 12 and really discuss it and come up with that 7th vote for either one of us or for somebody around this horseshoe.
Do you think that the president of council has a tiebreaker if it's a 6-6 vote?
If it was a 6-6 vote,
right? If
it was a 6-6 vote, then he would get he would have the 7th vote. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the bottom line is, doesn't matter who gives the 7th vote. If it's the president or if it's one of my members or some of their members. But as it stands right now, it's locked down, and I believe that the way we're headed right now, it's not a good course for council or historically or for the future in my mind. And here's the other piece.
If you had ended up on the other side of that, you would have...
I still believe you should have 7. I still believe you should have 7.
You wouldn't recognize yourself as being...
Well, remember, prior to our vote, we had 6-6. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it could have turned that way. I strongly believe in the number 7. Now, here's the thing. If we honor the 6-5 or the 6-5-1 vote, then any legislation coming before us in the future can just take 6 votes, not 7. And thus we would be violating the state law as well as our own rules. And we adopted our rules in January, so it hasn't changed. 24C, you can look it up. That talks clearly about the members present, total number present, and it clearly, even though Ohio Revised Code, it clearly states what abstention means, and I read that tonight. So at the end of the day, abstention in my book and in the state book, in Ohio and Robert's rules, it talks about the abstention being a person present, not a vote.
So your position's the same going forward. If there's an issue
always been.
That's someone or 2 or 3 abstain, it still has to get that 7 votes for Tom West, right?
Or for anybody. Any council member needs 7 votes. And I'll be frank in saying that, at this point in time, will I get 7 votes? Probably not. Will Frank? He has a good chance of getting 7 votes. But I believe that we should all collectively sit down together and get that 7th vote. And I think we can do that with the 12 people at a special session, and leave the law firms out of it, and leave the just us 12 should sit down and work that out.
So is your motivation as simple as when Canton Council passes an ordinance, it has to have 7 votes
Clearly.
so that there's no question whatsoever as to its validity on that basis, on the vote basis?
Exactly.
Have I summarized it properly?
Definitely. On the Ohio Revised Code 731-17 says that exactly.